The level of consciousness that you operate from is simply a reflection of the beliefs that you hold. And the beliefs that you hold are shaped by whatever meaning that you give pretty much everything in your life, whether it's things that you learned growing up in school, things that you experience, things that you observe out in society, or even things that you've been conditioned to believe. All of those make up your own unique set of beliefs or subconscious rules. So those rules or those beliefs are, your level of conscious awareness. So whatever you are consciously aware of is whatever you experience. So whenever you find yourself experiencing the same loops or the same patterns over and over. Or maybe you're trying to break bad habits, but you just can't figure out how. Or maybe you struggle with things like overthinking, self doubt, lack of confidence, self sabotage. Or perhaps you're trying to call something into your life. Like maybe you want to buy a brand new car, or you want to go on vacation, or maybe you're looking for the love of your life. Like you want to find someone to finally settle down with, someone who is going to shower you with unconditional love and vice versa. So, whatever it is, whatever it looks like for you, if you're trying to overcome a struggle or you're trying to reach an end goal, everything boils down to your unique set of beliefs. Because if you constantly find yourself feeling like you're not good enough to receive, let's say, love or success or money, or you struggle finding your creativity, or you struggle finding your purpose, maybe, it's all going back to the same root. If your belief is that I can't, I don't know how, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy enough, or I don't deserve it, or but what about this? What about that? Good things never happen to me. The list goes on and on and on, right? Whatever your limiting beliefs are exactly what's blocking you from the things that you want to experience in your life. So, in order to finally break that wall, you need to go in and change the meaning, the perception that you gave certain things in your life. So, for example, in my life, I struggled for years with not feeling good enough, and this affected many different aspects of my life. This affected my love life, this affected just me in general, feeling like I'm invisible. Like in any room that I walked in, I felt so invisible all the time. I didn't have any sort of confidence at all. When I walked somewhere, I was always looking down because I was afraid to make eye contact with people. Even when I was talking with people, I always felt like I was awkward. I felt like I was the weird person. I felt like I never knew what to say. I mean, granted, I am naturally quirky, but that's beside the point. Like, I just felt like I was a big weirdo. All of that really boiled down to one root, which is I didn't feel good enough. So that was kind of like my umbrella limiting belief. And so when I was on, this journey to I wanted to become the best version of myself. And that looks different for everyone, right? But for myself, I just really wanted to feel better about myself. I wanted to feel confident. I wanted to experience things that I would otherwise self-sabotage myself from. Like I would get new opportunities pop up, but I would be too scared to take it because again, I felt like I wasn't good enough. So I would decline a lot of opportunities or experiences that would pop up in my life. And then I was also oblivious to opportunities and experiences that were pretty much staring me in the face. So in order to become my best version of self, or in order to just overcome those blocks that were in my way, preventing me from experiencing what I wanted, I had to go in and almost rewrite my set of subconscious rules. For me, I knew that there were several instances in my childhood that ultimately led to, me having experiences where I would place a meaning on something, and that meaning is I'm not good enough. For example, growing up in school, a lot of my teachers would always say, yeah, you do really well academically, but you're very quiet. You should talk more. And even though the teacher's intentions behind saying that were good intentions, they wanted me to branch out of my shell. Numerous teachers would tell me this throughout the years. And so hearing this on repeat, again, their intentions were good, but that's not the way that I interpreted their comments. I interpreted their comments as being like, there's something wrong with you, Crystal. You need to talk. And the fact that you don't talk is a problem, right? That's what I heard them say. That's not what they said, but that's what I heard them say. And that's what I interpreted and the meaning that I placed on their comments. So I ended up, wiring my own brain to believing that I was a problem, like there was something wrong with me. And that is one of many things that led me to feeling like I was not good enough. So at the beginning, when I said that, the beliefs or the meaning that you place on experiences are what build your beliefs. They shape your beliefs. So my level of conscious awareness for years was I was viewing things through this one lens of I'm not good enough. And so I kept on experiencing the same things over and over that were reflecting that right back to me. So instead, I had to go in and rewire that belief. And once I did that, and this does not have to be complicated, right? That might sound like a tedious process, like having to go back to all of the things that you've experienced in life. But it doesn't have to be complicated like that. All you simply have to do is just really sit down and think, what are my limiting beliefs? Sit down, write them down, and then it's almost like you're flipping them. Okay, if I didn't feel good enough, well, I feel good enough now. And this also goes back to your authenticity, which I don't want to touch on too much in this video, but your authenticity is also what helps you to unlock your operant power, your limitlessness. Because each and every one of us is good enough and deserving and worthy enough to experience what we want in life. And I'll briefly touch base on this. Like I said, your authenticity is how or who you were born as before conditioning, before experiences, before all of the limiting beliefs that you build on top of yourself. You're building all of those limiting beliefs on top of your authenticity, on top of your authentic self. But your authentic self is whole and complete. You're not lacking anything when you're born, but when you start building those beliefs, that's when you start feeling like you lack things in life. That's when you start feeling like you have to perform. That's when you feel like you have to live up to some sort of standard that's set out in society. But no, no, no. In your specific life, you are the standard. You don't need to go and do things just because everyone else is doing it. You don't need to do things and put on a performance in order to feel satisfied or to feel successful or to feel loved or to feel whatever it is that you want to feel joy, right? Whatever it is, you don't have to go and put on a performance in your own life so you could feel those things. Those things are granted to you the moment that you're born. You're born whole and complete. You're born perfect. And I don't mean moral perfection. I mean perfect. Like when you go back to the Greek meaning of the word perfect, it literally means whole and complete. When you're able to tap into your authentic self, you really do start to see things from a different lens. The way that you go about responding to things that do pop up in your life is going to be drastically different. Because whereas let's say right now, if you're operating out of your ego mind, the mind that wants you to perform, the part of you that wants to keep you safe, the part of you that wants to, they always want to be in control. That's your ego mind. That's not your authentic self. But when you're operating from the ego mind that has all the limiting beliefs, it's like you're seeing things from, like, let's say an orange colored lens of glasses. So your view, what is the word that I'm trying to look for? Your point of view is very limited. But when you're operating from, let's say, a blue shade of lenses, that is your, let's say, authentic self. Your level of conscious awareness expands. Therefore, you're able to see things not only in a different way, but you're also able to experience more things that were otherwise filtered out by your reticular activating system. Your reticular activating system is the thing that keeps you, showing you the same experience over and over because that's how your brain is wired. So, going back to the subconscious rules are what tell your reticular activating system, look, anything that doesn't match this, kick it out. We don't show them anything that does not match the set of rules. So your reticular activating system goes to work and it shows you only things that you are familiar with. When you want to, or when you rewire your subconscious rules or your beliefs, the reticular activating system has no choice but to follow those new sets of rules. And I know it might seem kind of, complicated, but it's really not. All you have to do is one, identify and name your limiting beliefs. Two, tell yourself a different story, aka rewrite your set of limiting beliefs to things that are no longer limiting. And three, start embodying the version of you who already has what you want. Embody the version of you who no longer struggles with overthinking, who no longer self-sabotages, who calls in all the things that they desire in life. Because even at that, when you're embodying, that means that you're no longer associating yourself with all of those limiting beliefs anymore. Let me know in the comments something that you are trying to overcome in your life, or maybe even something that you're trying to call into your life. That does it for this one. I will see you again next time. I love you. Bye.